to Oilers Nation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Penalty kill looked good. Let's get into it with the lead. The Oilers were right there until Makar scored, then Makar scored again, then Brindley scored, then Drury scored, then Parker Kelly scored. Up until that bunch of 5 goals there, Edmonton had them.
The 6th was the dagger.
The 6-1 goal was the dagger.
Damn it.
Right after Connor McDavid scores on the power play to make it 5-1. I will say, all joking aside, McDavid scores on the power play, it's 5-1. They get another power play, and you're like,
okay.
They do some weird shit sometimes. And then just instantly off the face-off shorthanded goal. And it was like, oh, okay, we're good. I left my seat at that point and never returned.
The shorthanded goal, honestly, it was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny.
It really sucked. Don't get me wrong. But just the fact of a pass to the point isn't strong enough to get to the guy. Bouchard, he's just flat-footed. And Parker Kelly, it looks like a prime Joachim Nygaard, just with his skating.
Yep.
And then Calvin Pickard, my God.
Okay.
That was a crazy save attempt. He literally just flailed on the ice. Pat, I know we said no goals, but if somehow you can find that one, I'd like to relive it.
Okay, the Parker Kelly one?
Oh, that was...
You got to get the whole clip, though, and I'll talk about it in a second. First, I need to let everybody know that we are coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. It's their 25th anniversary, and they're giving away 4 tickets to a game and a $1,000 Sports Closet shopping spree. All you need to do to enter, make a purchase of $100 or more in-store or online. No limit on the amount of entries per person. Entries close November 30th. The show, also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. So that Parker Kelly goal, I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
Right before it starts, it's
oh no.
For some reason, Hockey Night in Canada was doing a dramatic shot of the Wayne Gretzky banner.
Oh no.
And then it just immediately cuts to the ice and Parker Kelly goes down and scores. You're right, Calvin Pickard.
Dude, come on. That was so bad. And whatever. Fuck. Everyone was so terrible on Saturday. You can't come out of a 9-1 loss and be like, if this guy just played well, they might have won the game. It's no, literally from Connor McDavid all the way down to Calvin Pickard on the lineup. It was horrendous. Worst game I've ever watched as an Oilers fan. Ever. And I think it's gone down now as the worst loss in Rogers Place history.
Yeah, the last time they gave up 9 in a game was back in 2022, March of 2022 against the Calgary Flames. They gave up 9.
Oh yeah, and I think they ended up scoring 6 though.
I think you're thinking of the playoff game.
Oh, is that a different game? Because there was one yesterday. I think that game was in Calgary though, because they posted something about a 10-2 loss against Buffalo, but that might not have been since 2009. At home, they've allowed.
I was at that game against Buffalo back in 09.
Was it in 09?
Yeah.
What do you remember?
I just remember being 12 and being like, whoa, this probably isn't good.
No, it's not good.
No. Anyways,
worst loss so far.
Decent point.
Have they hit rock bottom? We don't know that yet.
Rock bottom, Pat, did you bring in the Photoshop I created? It's a rite of passage that we do this at some point in November. I sent it to Pat while the intro was playing, so if it takes him a second to pull it up, that's fine. But is this rock bottom? Potentially. To be fair, you never really know if it's rock bottom till you start going back up.
Yeah.
We don't know the depths of this hell.
No, we don't know the depths of this hell yet. I do truly believe this actually probably is rock bottom. Because I don't think you can, how many games in a season have 9 goals from one team? Probably.
I can get you an answer to that.
Less than 10, I would imagine.
Yeah, I can get you a very sad answer for that.
So I believe this is, I think the Oilers clearly needed a wake-up call. And we've been asking for it. And the one thing, my biggest takeaway from this weekend, I actually have 2, but we'll get into one a little bit later. Kris Knoblauch just did not hold back in his post-game stuff.
No, we're going to play some of those.
If you listen to it, it was very like he called out some players. There was other players who he like paused on answers, and we'll get into all the clips, but I listened to all three of them.
There you go. Hey, we're this much closer to Gavin McKenna. That would be rock bottom.
That would be rock bottom, but also a way to come back up, because then Calgary wouldn't get him, which would be hilarious. Well, it'd be.
Okay.
I don't know if that would be hilarious.
No, it wouldn't.
It would mean that we finished last.
Yeah,
we missed the playoffs.
Or even funnier outcome, we missed the playoffs by like a point and win the lottery.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
The conspiracy theorists would be out in full force on that one.
Yeah. That would bum it. A lot of comments today, and we will kind of get to them as we go on.
Yeah.
But
I have an answer to your question. How many times, if you had to guess, how many times last year do you think a team scored 9 goals in a game?
Is it more or less than 10? Because my first thought is 8.
Only twice last year.
Okay. Wow.
The Rangers beat the Islanders 9-2 in April, and the Penguins beat the Habs 9-2 in December.
I thought they would make. I thought there would be a couple of games that just like got out of hand and ended like 9-7. Wasn't there a game like that where it got super crazy?
25 games last year ended with 8 or more.
So I wasn't.
Like, there's a ton that were 8 last year, and just only a couple that were 9. Games where there were 7 or more goals, and this is including the start of this season. 95 games since the start of last season.
Alex,
7 or more goals.
Alex is in the chat. Oh my God, let's move on. We can't analyze this. Buddy, we haven't barely said anything yet.
9 minutes.
Alex, usually don't even talk about the Oilers in the first 9 minutes.
I hate to put it to disappoint you, Alex. We have a 90-minute show. We are 1/10 of the way through analyzing this bad boy.
Yeah. We will get to the game. There is a game today.
There's a game today,
which is probably a good thing.
Thank the Lord, man. Oh,
that is
God.
Good. Dave Pagnotta, 1 o'clock.
Pagnotta, there you go.
1 p.m.
Yeah. Didn't even prep questions for him. I think we're just gonna like freestyle a little bit here. Talk goaltending, all that stuff.
No quality start meter today.
No.
I don't think we need to do that.
Stu getting a little thumbs down, maybe?
Yeah, Stu, thumbs down. I think that's his 4th thumbs downs of the season.
Someone in the chat said they were at the game. I forget who it was. They were like, I was at the game. Before I even sat down, it was 3-0.
Why didn't you sit down?
I was going to say, that means you didn't sit down until there were 2 minutes gone in the second period.
What were you doing?
So,
were you watching the Jays? Like Jay the other day?
I was going to say, if you had tickets to the game, didn't get there till the second period, what are you doing? Oh, I have a major beef with Jay. This is the last thing we'll do, and then we'll get into like some serious hockey talk here. So Jay had a bunch of us go to the game with him. Yep. Our boss Amy's in town, Ryder and Lisa. We did a little night. Like, I know where Jay's season tickets are. So when he says, no, we're just sitting in my seats, I go, all right, I know exactly where to go. So I'm standing there, and because I did pregame show, I like rolled into the rink like as the anthems were being sung.
You got that quick?
I got there pretty quick. It's also like an 8:20 puck drop.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
it was a later one, so it wasn't too bad.
So I'm standing in the little hallway outside of Jay's section. Oh, TV.
Damn, right as we switched to the 2 shot.
Right as we switched to the 2 shot. So I'm sitting in the hallway for Jay's section. I'm like, you know what? I should just double check that I know where that I'm in the right spot. Yeah. So I pull out my phone and look at where my ticket is, and I'm like, oh, I'm the section over. He must have had to, to get 6 in a row, bought in a different section. So then I kind of walk over to the other section, and then I look at what seat number I am, and I'm like, oh, dang, I need to go back to the other side. So I'd already walked down the stairs, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to disrupt all these people, and so I'll just go back up the stairs and go to the other side of the section.
Yeah.
So I go up the stairs, and obviously people look. So like I'm looking like an idiot, like running down the stairs, running back up, go to the other side of the section, run all the way down, get to my row, and I look, and I'm like, wait, none of like Jay, Ryder, Lisa, Amy, no one's there. No one's in the seats. There's 2 empty seats, but no one else that I'm supposed to be at the game with is in that row. And I'm like, okay, I'm fucked up now. So I start running back up the section, and then I hear Jay be like, Tyler. And I turn, and he is in his normal seats. So I sit down next to them, and I'm like, guys, I am so sorry. I so messed up. I had no idea. Like, I just couldn't read my ticket. My brain was flustered. So I sit down in the seat. Everything's normal. And then Jay leans over to me and goes, hey, you're in someone else's seat. When they show up at the game, you need to convince them to go sit in the seat that's on your ticket.
He does this a lot. He does this a lot.
He goes, yeah, I couldn't get 6 in a row, so I just got 4 in a row, bought 2 more, a section over, and when they come down the stairs, just tell them to go sit over there. And I'm like, why are you putting this on me? First off, why wouldn't you tell me that? Because I'm meeting you guys at the game, and my ticket's in a different section than you guys. So I was not confused at all. I was going to the right spot. And then these people come down, and the guy next to us was like, well, I'll get up and move. I'll go sit in those seats to make it easier for you guys. He was nice. And then Ryder and Lisa are like throwing me money, and they're like, give him $20. And the guy's like, I don't want $20. And then this other couple comes down, and they're like, you're in my seat. And I'm like, yeah, but like someone's got to go sit. It was mayhem. And then eventually it was a nice young couple, and they were like, yeah, we'll just go sit in the other section. And we sorted it out. Holy shit, Jay.
That's a lot.
Brutal. He put me in a brutal spot. That's the suicide pass of like social moves.
He did that in Florida when we were down there.
Oh, yeah.
He had to move with like Florida fans. Luckily, they were accommodating to it as well. It's just like you just run into one bad person and then your whole plan is foiled.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my experience. And then I sit down and the Oilers get shit stomped. So let's get into the game a little bit. It's our game recap for our friends at Greta. Drown in your sorrows after watching your team get absolutely thumped in primetime hockey. Greta's a pretty good spot to do it. Good food, the bar, the arcade to take your mind off things as well. Ryder and Lisa are commenting, can I have my $20 back? I absolutely gave them the money back. Okay. I did not keep that $20. I don't, if I didn't keep it, I don't have it anymore. Hand up, night was kind of a blur. On that note, maybe it's good that I managed to forget most of what happened that night. It's just a disaster from the jump. And full credit to our colleague Kris St. Pierre, who wrote on Oilers Nation, like, maybe the Oilers just need to get embarrassed. And I talked on pre-gaming that day. It made sense. What Capri said, as much as I was not going into that hockey game being like, God, I hope the Oilers lose really bad. And I did say it needs to be decisive either way. Either the Oilers need to go and win, and we needed to sit here on Monday and be like, there you go. That's our Edmonton Oilers. That's a hockey team that can skate and compete with the best of them. That's a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. We either had to say that, and the path to that, at least in my head, was like, you know what? Maybe Connor and Leon do sit there and go, enough with the bullshit. Like, this is a marquee matchup for us. We need to play well. Mm-hmm. The other side of it was, like, if they lose 9-1, I think that really causes them to look in the mirror, right? And they go on and they get thumped and they lose 9-1. And I think it did cause them to look in the mirror a little bit. Liam, we even saw yesterday at skate, Connor McDavid looked pretty pissed off at some of his teammates. This is not a team that is in a very, very good mood. And understandably so. Like, I think we could look back on this and see it as a turning point. We better. I mean, if that ass kicking doesn't wake them up for tonight, we have actually major problems. If they lay an egg tonight and play poorly, we are having a very interesting show tomorrow.
Yeah, I wrote about it yesterday too on Oilers Nation. You can check that out. And at the bottom, I said exactly how you just wrapped it up there. It's like, we'll know a lot about this team by the way the coaches line them up, the way they respond to a bit of adversity, and just the whole game in general. And like, is this a must win? Probably, to be honest, but not in the sense of like stand-ins or anything like that, but in the sense of like, show your fan base like how embarrassed you were on Saturday night, because we did not see it. There was no hits. There was barely anything going on. And like, there was certain moments where he's like looking at us like, does anyone actually care what's happening to them right now?
But to be fair, like, that's the vibe we had coming into the game, was like, it looked like on most nights this year, they do not care if they win or lose.
But that night should have been the night where we saw something different. You know,
remember 2-3 years ago when they were getting their ass kicked by LA?
Yeah,
and Hyman fought and Puljujarvi fought, and everybody wanted to drop the gloves. How many, like, Brett made a really good board for pre-gaming that I forgot to get to. You know, the Oilers are the only team in the NHL without a major penalty. That means no, like, granted, no dirty hits or whatever, but like, how are you if you're the only one without a major penalty, no fighting majors, a hit that crosses the line, that says a lot about your team. I wish there was a way to track scrums per 60. I watched Toronto, Utah. I talked about this last week. I watched Toronto, Utah last week. Those are two teams who should not give a shit about each other on a Wednesday night, I think it was. Yep. There were 3-4 scrums in the third period alone.
There is that lacking big time. The Oilers are currently, I wrote this before games yesterday, but they were 29th, I believe, in hits and 31st in hits per 60.
Yeah.
And you can take that two ways and be like, wow, that's the Oilers have possession a lot, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But also, too, if you've seen the games, you know there's been moments in this season where they have lacked so much intensity, and the frustration of like giving up losses, leads, like that should spark something in anybody.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing. Like I'm trying to recall, like even thinking of scrums recently. I can think of at the start of the season when Howard slashed Wolf and it caused a bit of chaos, and maybe there was one against Vancouver as well in New York. But like, aside of that, the opening 3 games is like when you should have your most juice. They've just lost it every single night, and I just don't understand it. And the quote that really got me came from Trent Frederick, as I pull this up quickly here. But he essentially said, here it is, who wants to fight a guy that has 1 goal in 15 games? I wouldn't. What do you mean? Like, when did fighters become goal scorers all of a sudden? Like, you are Trent Frederick. Yeah. You are known to have an attitude. You're known to lay hits. And we've talked about his physicality.
Here's an idea. Just go fucking grab someone.
That's exactly what I wrote in there, too. If anyone watched the game before, you would have seen Nikita Zadorov kill Scott Lawton. Yeah. Absolutely dummied him. A huge hit. And Bobby McMahon went into... He certainly didn't go in to drop the gloves, but he engaged with him, and Zadorov gave him no choice but to start fighting him. And he just went for it. Max Domi tried to do the same with someone else.
Darnell Nurse could do the same thing, too.
Anybody could do it. Anybody. Like,
Matthias Ekholm, big tough Viking.
Softest guy on the team.
Softest guy on the I know he is.
But
like,
there's so many guys. Yeah. It's just like, come on, like, show a bit of passion. And we talked about it the other day with Bouchard and the incident against the Blues. It's like, you can forgive the puck moving stuff. You make errors there, but like, if you're not showing effort, what are you even doing here? Like, it's basic stuff. Like, the three of us, Eli and you, we could all go into a game and show a bit of effort. Yep. We'd be terrible at everything else, but we could show that we were like wanting to be there. And I can't believe I'm going to say this next line, but I'm going to say it. I'm happy Matthias Janmark's playing tonight, because I know he's going to go out there and he's going to play hard for them at least, and he might inject a little bit of something into them. And it shouldn't take a fourth line guy to come in and do that. You should be able to do that on your own.
Mm-hmm. Mueller kind of actually made all the same points you did. And he was like, hey, Reeves, Delorier, Rempe, they don't score. Delorier has not scored this year. Rempe has 1 goal in 9 games. He's hurt. Yeah. Reeves has 2 goals on the year somehow. And Mueller, I love this line. Do something to make them react to you. Like, yeah, Trent Frederick, they're not fighting you because you have 1 goal, man. They're not fighting you because you don't do anything.
Make them fight you.
Go fucking hit someone. Yeah. Go cross-check someone. Go slash someone. Go park yourself in front of the net. Like, do something, and maybe someone will want to fight you.
It's even like, I think back a little bit to Game 3 against Florida last season in the Cup final. That game, maybe it happened a bit too... I can't remember exactly. There was a lot of fighting, wasn't there, in that game? Yep. People were like, what is that going to do for the Oilers? Like, well, we'll find out the next game. But at least they tried to shake things up a little bit and do it. And it's like, how did you get away from that so quickly? Like, how is losing... I can't believe the impact Corey Perry had on this team. Mm-hmm. Not in the sense that I didn't respect what he did. He was a great player for the Oilers. Had a great season last season. But you shouldn't lose that guy and then lose everything. You know what I mean? Like, you still have a lot of the core here, and I just cannot believe the impact he left has just evaporated. Like, how did someone not learn something from him? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems insane to me. Davin said it. Sorry, he's like, go get suspended. Honestly, I think people would have taken that a little bit last game if you show a bit of passion. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Just looking here, 58 fighting majors. This courtesy of our friends at hockeyfights.com. 58 fighting majors this year in the NHL. Not one of them, obviously, from the Edmonton Oilers. Calgary, Tampa lead the way 8 and 7 respectively. Like, it's ridiculous, man. This team shows no fight. I forgot my poppy. Damn it. In my bag.
I should have told you. That one's on me.
Anyways, it's really, really irritating to watch. I was messaging with someone in the media circles who gave me the reply, flashbacks to 2008. Like that, when you are playing at a level that is giving people who covered the team in 2008, that can't be a comparison we're doing here.
No.
Like, we can't be talking about a team with Lubomir Visnovsky on it being compared to a team that should win the Stanley Cup. Lubo was good. He actually didn't deserve that stray. Anyways, it's ridiculous, man. That effort is just pitiful. And like, do I want to sit here and blame the goalies? You're goddamn right I want to sit here and blame the goalies. Stuart Skinner, stop one of those first two from Cale Makar. Calvin Pickard, play a breakaway like you're an NHL goalie who has stepped foot on an NHL ice surface once in your life. They were both pitiful, but it goes way deeper than that. Every player on that roster was absolutely awful. There was not one guy who showed the slightest bit of heartbeat or give a shit. And again, if they would have lost that game 9-3, but had 3 fighting majors and showed like they were fed up a little bit, I might have been cutting them a little bit of slack today and been like, you know what? You got your teeth kicked in, but you fought. Mm-hmm. They just do nothing. Every game they lose is just somehow more and more embarrassing and makes me more and more disinterested in this hockey team. And like, again, I know no one gives a shit, but like, oh, here's the breakaway goal. Just insane. Just insane. It's so bad. What are you doing?
Come on, man. Like, again, it's a breakaway.
Yeah.
That's bad. But my God. Like, a stand-up, like, you've made a breakaway stop before. Like, I just don't understand. Like, this is just, I mean, it's already 5-1. Who really gives a shit at this point?
Yeah, but this was the day.
Hilarious to look at. It's like, come on.
Yeah, Southpaw with a good comment. I want to get to some of your guys' comments, so we'll start flipping through these. But he says, I wish more guys hated losing than they do. There'd be more fight. But, like, it's just such, I do think they hate losing. But they just go about it in the most baby shit way possible.
They're very flat.
They slam their stick. They mope. It's all of this. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's so deflating. And do I think they can be better than this? Absolutely. And I know, like, you had the line of, like, I wish they hated losing. And, like, yes. I also wish they liked winning more. Mm-hmm. They're not a fun team to watch win. No. Because they score, on the games where they score 5 goals, they put it in the back of the net, and they have this, like, almost like this I'm too cool for it kind of mentality. You can give a shit, and this starts at the top with Connor and Leon. You can give a shit about winning in November. You're allowed to show some passion here because you know what? You're the leaders on the team. Ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous.
So I should have grabbed this guy, but I knew there was one more. McDavid did kind of talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
And he said, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit so you can look it up. The Oilers put it on their YouTube. Do it after this show, though. He said, we need to show energy in the games. And he said that starts with us. And I think he's referring to, obviously, the leadership. And he's like, even like scoring goals, hits, all this stuff is like, we need to show more passion. So that is a positive sign. There was a lot of stuff going on yesterday. But one thing I wanted to ask you about, and I'm curious what the chat thinks too. So the Oilers get smoked 9-1. Worst loss in Rogers Place history. Embarrassing.
Brutal.
Kris Knoblauch obviously talks. But then the players that come out and talk are Jake Wallman, Andrew Mangiapane, and Trent Frederick. I'm sorry, I couldn't give 2 shits what any of those 3 have to say after a loss. There is one man I want to hear from. It's Connor McDavid.
Yep.
How does the captain not come out and just face the music?
How many times has he spoken after a loss this year?
Once. He did it against the New Jersey Devils, sorry. Nugent Hopkins has come out and spoke 4 times. He seems to be the one they throw in front of it. I think it was honestly my biggest takeaway from the game. It's like he did not talk. And it seems like a small thing, but it's like, you just absolutely erupted.
Yeah.
And you were the only one who scored a goal, and credit for you to that. But it's just like, dude, where are you? Like, I just feel like throwing those 3 players out there, it was almost like they blamed the loss on those 3 guys. That it was Frederick, Mangiapane, and Wallman's fault. And they all played a role. But you're the captain. Come out and talk about what is happening. And the next day he came out and spoke, and that's fine. But I don't want to hear it from you in the morning. I need to hear it from you after that. Because Knoblauch came out, and he was very honest. He's been very honest in his 3 interviews post that loss. But Connor McDavid, buddy, like, you can't sit around and let someone else do it. You wear the C. You've done it for years here. Probably a decade, close to a decade, I would imagine at this point.
You have to. Yep.
You have to.
You have to.
I was thinking about it. It's like Patrice Bergeron would have been out there.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel, if that was Flick, Gabriel Landeskog would be the only guy talking.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you think of any captain in the league, and I'm not diminishing the leadership that Connor McDavid has. And like, I'm not talking about his whole captaincy. I think he's a good captain. But it's like, in that moment, like, you should have been there honestly, for the city. Like, it really matters to people, and they want to hear from you. And I just couldn't wrap my head around how he didn't come out and say anything. Sidney Crosby, Tyler says in the chat too, like, yeah, I just can't understand it. Drew Doughty would have been there. Kopitar, like,
And he would have been pissed.
yes, and answer the questions honestly. Like, call guys out. Maybe that's what guys need to. And like, again, like, I don't know what he was saying, what he was doing. Obviously, we didn't see it, but yeah, someone put in the chat there, Mark M. From Mark M. What's that
Mark
show
M
called?
From Severance.
Severance.
Mark.
Spectre attacked Freddie and Mangiapane in the
No, he
postgame.
didn't. He called them out for their dog shit play.
Yeah,
that is what you do.
He's a reporter. He's asking them difficult questions. He didn't even ask him difficult questions. He asked Mangiapane, he's like, why are you not getting involved in scrums? And he asked Frederick why he's not playing well. Paraphrasing a little
Is
bit.
Mangiapane getting in scrums?
No.
So ask him about it. Is Trent Frederick playing well?
No.
So ask him about it. Like,
Knoblauch called out Frederick today in his press conference.
And Knoblauch has said some interesting shit, and he's not said some interesting shit over the last couple of days, and we'll talk about that. But like, the same people who are like, oh, the media shills for, and then the media asks tough questions, and those people go, well, that's why is our media being mean to the players? Fucking play well. Media won't be mean to you.
Yeah. Tyler, T-Dog, sorry, not Tyler. Assuming your name's Tyler. Spectre had a great article.
Yeah.
And he just was honest. And this sometimes you just need a bit of honesty. And it's just like, sometimes it can be harsh. There's no doubt about it. We all can be. But it's okay. These players, they just lost 9-1. Face the music.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Wrap it up.
I mean,
let's get some quotes, maybe.
Well, sure. Let's get some quotes. I mean, you kind of pulled them all. So where do you want to start?
I think the best one to start with probably comes right. Let's do the identity one from today, because I think that was taken out of context a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Pat, if you want to throw that one up of Kris Knoblauch talking about the identity of the Edmonton Oilers.
There's a lot of money put into your defense on the back end. Do you think you've got anything close to what you expected at the start of the season with your group on the back end?
No, I think we've got off to a slow start. Our defense group included. And, you know, there's stretches where one guy was playing a bit poorly and then the next guy, and then collectively just not all giving everything they got. Not that they don't care. That's not that at all. But just a lot of it is the confidence on getting, you know, we feel our strength. Obviously, Connor and Leon are the identity of our team. They are when you think of the Edmonton Oilers, those are the two names that pop out. But right after that, it should be our six defensemen that are playing each night, because we feel that they can be among the best in the league every single night.
You need to combine this with something else he said too. And I played this on pre-gaming the other day, where he talked about how important the defense is to their offense, moving the puck. He talked about how they're the number one team in controlled zone entries in the NHL, and that is because their defensemen get the forwards the puck on their stick. So everyone who was ripping him, being like, if this is how Kris Knoblauch views the Oilers, then like we have a major problem. I don't view it that way at all. I think if you read the quote and you don't actually watch what he said, I think you can look at that and be like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
But he's bang on. The identity of this team is how well, I mean, it's Connor and Leon, because everyone thinks Connor and Leon, and understandably so. But the identity of this team is how well the blue line plays. Do they limit grade A chances? Do they get the star players the puck and get the forwards the puck? If those two things are happening, the Oilers are a really damn good hockey team. They are not a run and gun team. They do not thrive on winning games 6-5. That is not how the Oilers are built. They thrive on, I think, the best hockey game I've ever seen the Edmonton Oilers play. 2 years ago, 2024, Game 6 against the Dallas Stars.
Yes.
Dallas had maybe 3 good looks in that entire hockey game. The Oilers got a beautiful goal from Connor McDavid early and defended the shit out of that thing. They kept everyone to the outside. Skinner made the stops he was supposed to, and they held on and won the game. And it was weird because it was 1-0, but it was also never in doubt. You knew they controlled the pace of that hockey game the entire time. And Jake Onger played great at the other end, and it didn't matter because the Oilers played good enough defensively to win that hockey game. That's the best they've ever looked. And why did they look good? Because of how their blue line played. And I know that was before Wallman and all of this stuff. But
Still.
you can go back to the way they played in the playoffs and what their best games were this last year. It is when they limit the other team. Look at Vegas. The back-to-back shutouts where Skinner was awesome, but You shut out the Vegas Golden Knights back-to-back games and won a game 1-0 in overtime because you defended really, really well. And the identity of their team needs to be how well they defend and how well they prevent grade A chances. They're good at preventing shots right now. They are not good at preventing grade A chances. And Dangerous Way, this team is built for offense and puck transition. When we aren't doing that, yeah, we'll suck. Totally. The 5-on-5 offense is an issue, but the 5-on-5 offense starts in your own end. How well do you get out of the zone? Are you controlled getting out of the zone? And are you not making grade A mistakes that result in you having to defend for another 90 seconds? Because all that shit's happening right now. And it's why Colorado's getting opportunities. They're making way too many grade A mistakes defensively, and they're not transitioning the puck well. They need to figure that out.
Yeah, the second one we'll get to, Pat. I'm sure people will salivate over this one. Kris Knoblauch answering a question from, I think it was Mark Spector, just on if the team has lost belief in the goaltending tandem. This is post-game.
The first 2 goals of the game are 2 wrist shots, no traffic, both get through your goalie, one off the post, a good shot, one through your goalie, and you said your team sags after that. Is this team losing some belief here when it comes to the goaltending situation?
I don't believe so. I think there's been games where our goaltending has been good. The chances and the amount of chances that we've given up has not helped. So I see a lot of bigger issues than our goaltending.
Probably didn't need to pause for 4 seconds.
The pause is pretty damning
A
there.
loud pause.
Mulek says, I believe the team is playing scared with the goalies they have. They might be. It's the first time I'm going to give any sort of put any stock into that, but they might be. This is eventually going to transition into our Spotify question. But I don't know, man. It's hard to feel like you're going to get enough saves to win right now. And last year, maybe their defensive play just covered for it really, really well. I do think, again, they're making some really horrendous mistakes. And I'll get to a Woodley clip right away because I had him on DFO Live today and got to ask him about the Oilers goaltending. And he's probably the smartest goalie analyst in the hockey world.
The one that talks the most, and he seems to say it very reasonably.
And he's got access to some really, really good numbers and all that. So we'll get to Woodley's clip in a little bit. But do we maybe want to play Skinner's comments first?
I don't know if I send that one to Pat.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Sorry. What I was going to say, I do find it interesting that this would be the moment it would turn. Because it's not like both of them have been around. They've been on a lot of runs of them. And I just find it interesting that it would be 16 games into a season and all of a sudden it's just gone. Yeah. The belief. And I think there is moments 100% when you watch a clip and you watch a goal star, it's okay, come on, you got to figure that one out. But I just think there's so much going on with everyone right now that it's just, they have to, if they were defending hard and goals were going in, I think I would believe that a little bit more. But they just those Kale McCall ones, it was mentioned in the question, it's 2 open wrist shots. It's okay. Well, the first one was kind of screened a lot for the forward.
And he picked it. First one he picked.
But the second one is
you gotta stop that.
Why is he? Well, yes, I'll stop 100%. I will not deny that. That needs to be a save. Even the third one that didn't count on Landeskog. It's but why? Why is this guy just so wide open? Where's the defenders? And that's the one side of it where the thing I'm going to lay is just they're losing the belief, and we've all been in those situations where your goalie is just not making that save 100%. But it's not like you're doing anything to help him out either. Is doing that's fair?
I think it's a very yes. We cannot. I don't know. You don't lose a game 9-1 just because your goalie sucks.
I think so too. They were so bad, and I just think when you look through the games, I don't think Skinner's a world beater by any means, but help them both out a little bit. Look at breakaway. We laugh, but it's again a clean breakaway.
So I think we can talk about a lot of things till we're kind of blue in the face. We can sit here and bitch about how they don't play with passion. We can sit here and bitch about how ugly it was on Saturday night and why aren't the big guns doing media, all that stuff. I think everyone is kind of on the same page with that. And the one thing that's maybe causing a little bit of an argument or maybe has people wondering, might be why they tune into a show like this, the goaltending is a more complicated question. Like, I think everyone would agree Trent Frederick hasn't been good this year, and the Oilers need to play with more passion, and they need to play with some desperation, and the 5-on-5 offense sucks, and the defense gives up a lot of great opportunities. But the goaltending is still a little bit of like, where do they go from here? Is there a solution? All of that. So, Pat, if you want to play the Woodley clip, and then we'll get into some other stuff. But here's Kevin Woodley just on the Oilers goaltending.
Kevin Woodley covers the Canucks for NHL.com and talks a lot of goalies for In Goal magazine. And Kevin, I know you do weekly radio hits in Edmonton, so you are no stranger to having to talk about the goaltending issues for the Oilers. So let me start there. Give it to Oilers fans straight, Kevin. How bad is it right now?
Well, I mean, this is a team that wasn't built to rely on elite goaltending to win games, right? Like, that's just not how it is. And right now, the way they're playing, they need it. Right, because they're not the defensive juggernaut that they have been since Kris Knoblauch arrived, right? Slow start to the season, and a lot of that is the types of chances they're giving up, the highest danger chances. You know, not at a league worst rate, but middle of the pack rate, whereas they need to be a top 10 team. You know, last year, Calvin Pickard had one of the highest expected save percentages in the league. In other words, one of the easiest environments in the league, and he was good in it. This year, his expected save percentage is .865. So I know there's a lot of negative attention around Calvin right now, but no goalie survives at .865. Like, that's just an impossible environment. And the story I like to tell, the example I like to point to is Eric Comrie. That last year in Buffalo, he cleared waivers multiple times. Everyone said he wasn't an NHL. Like, I kept hearing, he's not an NHL goalie. He's not an NHL goalie. He had an .858 expected save percentage. I've never seen one that low. It's like they fed him to the Wolves every time they knew they were going to get beat down, and he had to bear the brunt. Goes to Winnipeg, and for the past 2 years, last time I checked, pretty good goalie, right? So environment matters, and the Oilers' defensive environment is not as good as it's been, and it's not what they need given the goaltending they have. On Stuart Skinner, I still believe he's capable of being an above-average NHL goalie. He did that 2 years ago. Tough for him in that he hasn't had an off season for the past couple of years. I know 2 summers ago it was a real struggle to sort of find that balance between recovering and starting to build on his game. And as you know, Carter, like, that's it. Like, that's where you make changes in your game, is in the off season, right? Like, so if you don't have that time, where do you find the time to sort of make, you know, significant structural changes? It's hard to do during a season. I think they are trying to make some changes in terms of how he plays. It's been hit and miss. There's been a couple of rushes where we see him sort of diving headfirst across the crease, and everyone goes, "Oh, he had no chance." And I go, "Oh, he didn't give himself a chance because he was way too aggressive on the initial shot." That's an adjustment they're trying to make off rush. Have him sit 3/4 depth, maybe mid depth, and let the play come to him. And we've seen times where it works, and we've seen other times where he goes back to, you know, like, it's like a golf thing. You change the swing. You know, professional golfers change the swing under pressure, back 9 on a Sunday in contention at a tournament, the old swing comes back. And so we've seen moments where some of his old sort of style things have come back. And so it's a process. Can't snap your fingers. It's going to take some time. It would be nice if he was able to make that adjustment behind the type of defensive team they've been for the past couple of years, but they just haven't been that to start this season. So it's one more factor on top of a whole bunch of factors. And I heard you talking, Carter, about, like, you know, what kind of team are you? I do think, and we've seen it here in Vancouver last couple, when you change as much personnel as they did this offseason, finding that identity, coaching staff, forwards, like, it takes a little while to find that identity, and it seems pretty clear they haven't fully found theirs yet.
That number he gave TV, that number he gave on Calvin Pickard, an .864 expected save percentage. So that means, based on the quality of chances that Calvin Pickard faces, an average NHL goaltender would have an .864 save percentage in those situations. And listen, Kevin Woodley covers the Vancouver Canucks and talks goaltending for In Goal magazine. Mm-hmm. He's a goalie expert. He has access to ClearSight Analytics. If you listen to Jason Greger's show, you know how smart he is, and you also know how good he is at picking the next goalie who's up and coming. He's done it really, really well the last couple of seasons. He was on Kevin Lankinen. When no one was signing Kevin Lankinen, he was like mind blown. He was like, why is no one giving this guy a chance? He's good. So, like, I trust his analytics because they're, one, not biased. It's true numbers that he used the term proprietary data. Like, it's not available to the public. He has access to them. The fact that he's sitting there being like, Calvin Pickard has an expected save percentage of .864 means he is facing a lot of really, really high quality chances that should be going in. Like, the fact he goes .864, then when he's talking about Eric Comrie, says .858 and goes, I've never seen anything that low in my life, tells you how poor the Oilers are playing in front of Calvin Pickard. Now, Calvin Pickard has an .836.
Wow. What's he supposed to do? He has an 860 shot percentage.
Well, right, but like he's 30 points below average.
He's not been very good.
He's not been good this year. So like, don't take this as me defending Calvin Pickard that much, because he has still been way worse than he should be. But it just goes back and it illustrates the point that the Oilers are giving up way too many high danger looks. You can look at shots against, you can look at all of that stuff. They aren't getting good enough goaltending right now. You cannot sugarcoat it at all. It's also a multifaceted problem because they're playing really bad in front of their goalies. So what do? I think you have to switch out one of these two guys. Which one is it? It's way easier to switch out Calvin Pickard. But now here's a whole nother issue. Connor Ingram might be unplayable.
Yeah, the Bakersfield Condors played twice this weekend, won both games, and Matt Tompkins got the win column for both games because he played both games.
They have given Connor Ingram 8 straight days off. They played twice over the weekend and did not try Connor Ingram in either one of them because he's given up 5 goals in 3 consecutive games in Bakersfield. He hasn't looked like even close to a solution, and I know that there are other things behind the scenes with Connor Ingram, and you keep bringing it up, that the quote he had to spec where he's like, I don't like when people watch when I play. Like, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but it's like, dude, I applauded the Connor Ingram move.
It looked great.
Not because I thought he could be like a 1A type of solution for them, but because I was sitting there going, you know what? They went about it the right way. They saw a guy with upside that was available. They made Utah keep money. They gave up nothing to get him. They waited till he was in Bakersfield. But like, if this was going bad right now and they had acquired Connor Ingram at his full boat and he was giving up 5 goals a game in the NHL, never mind the AHL, we'd be sitting here having a whole nother issue. So we're going to parlay this now into our Spotify question for Oodle Noodle, brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle, where you can take advantage of the value menu deal and add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. Any signature premium box, takeout and online only at oodlenoodle.ca. And like people say, like Ingram is worth a shot. Austin Hockey, our friend from the Nation Vacation. Ingram is definitely a long-term project. Let him play all year in the AHL. Give him camp next season to see if he can crack the roster.
Sure.
Like, I'm with you on that. And I even kind of said that. I was like, both your goalies, Pickard and Skinner, are free agents next season. Having a third guy like Ingram in the organization was definitely more of a long-term move than I think a lot of people were talking about. And this is something we're going to throw Pagnotta at the top of the hour when he pops on, but like, who's out there? Because I think they need to make a move. The move now, the obvious one would have been, you were kind of hoping they could hang on till December and do an Ingram swap after he played really well for a month in Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. But now it's early in November and Ingram doesn't look good. And no to the people, I don't think you're calling up Matt Tompkins. No. Sadly, that's just not a solution. You could do something legitimately insane and just call up Sam Johnson and like see what he does. But like, I think that's also a stupid decision that would hurt his long-term development.
I've been saying this. It's a similar situation with Tomasek. It's like, don't put your guys in bad spots.
Yeah.
Like, and just pulling up those guys. People keep pulling up the Colorado comparison because they obviously went out last season and got those 2 goalies in Blackwood and Wedgwood, obviously.
They just went and totally flushed it. And what's interesting about that, and again, like I didn't like the Blackwood deal. I didn't think the Oilers could pay that much for him. Like, would they be in a better spot? Yes, I'm fully willing to admit when I'm wrong. And I was wrong on the Mackenzie Blackwood thing. They should have went and got one of Blackwood or Wedgwood last year and swapped out Pickard. They should have done it. In the moment, I didn't want them to. I was wrong on that. Hand up, one for the haters. Haters had a point there. But like, who are they going to go get right now? Who can you realistically find on the market?
That's what I'm thinking about. And I have one team.
Okay.
What if one of those 3 goalies in Carolina shakes loose? So you have Freddie Anderson.
You want to see what's on my screen right now?
Brandon Bussey.
Bust down, baby.
What's his name? Kochetkov? Peter Kochetkov? Is that how you say his
name?
name?
Piotr Kochetkov.
Okay. $2 million.
Brandon Bussey is 4-1 this year with an .898 save percentage and a 2.6 goals against average. He
good.
is 27 years old, and this is the first time he's been an NHL goalie.
That's why I don't think you can bring him in.
2.3 goals above expected is actually pretty good.
He's playing well, and I don't mean that in a way of you can't. It just seems like a bigger risk.
Bussey has a better goals saved above expected per 60 than Andrei Vasilevsky.
Well, maybe he's the answer.
So but
again, that's also a team that plays incredibly structured hockey and hard defensively in the Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm not saying like I mean, maybe he could be. I don't know a lot about him. Those numbers are obviously impressive, but like, it's a team that plays hard in front of their goaltender.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have never seen Calvin Pickard's numbers this low.
Yeah.
Because the team has played way better in front of him.
Here's where I think Bussy could be an option. I see we have a Canes fan somehow in our chat who says there's no way they're trading him.
Who would they trade? Who do you think they would trade?
Well, here's what makes that an interesting kind of thing here. They just got Caden Primo back on waivers from Toronto. And because Carolina was the only team to put a claim in for him, they were allowed to put Primo down in the American League. They're carrying 3 goalies right now because Kochekhov's healthy. So Bussy's sitting as a healthy scratch. They also have a shitload of injuries on their blue line. They're without Slavin, Gostisbehere, and Chatfield right now. All 3 are on IR. So they're calling up, like, Mike Riley's playing top 4 minutes for him right now. It's a bit of a mess. Just trade Troy Stecher for Brandon Bussy, and each team can solve their problem. Carolina gets a guy who's a serviceable defenseman. Edmonton gets Bussy. I wouldn't even put Pickard on waivers yet. I mean, someone says they might waive Bussy. They might, but Edmonton also might have to waive Troy Stecher. So just swap them. Swap Stecher for Bussy, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's
simple as that. Like, I do think there is something right now to, like, I think this team might just need a different goalie in the crease. I think they might just need to be looking at someone different than they've been looking at the last 2 years.
Sure.
And if Bussy's going to come in and be average, keep in mind, $8.98, but he's faced some good quality chances.
That is above league average.
Yeah, it is.
Let's get this idea out of everyone's head that everyone has to be a 9-10 to be a good goalie.
Yeah.
It's not the case. The league average right now is $8.97 for a save percentage and a 2.8 goals against average. Both Oilers goalies ultimately below both those numbers. Actually, goals against Skinner is ahead of league average. You're not getting 9-10 just on the market. You have to see these a little bit differently. Again, I hate save percentage. For me, it's about goals against. And if you have goalies that are giving you less than 3 goals a game, or 3 or less a game, then you have a good chance to win. Calvin Pickard's not doing that for them. Skinner is doing it more often than not. Saturday, obviously not.
I'm now fully in the camp of change for the sake of change. You just need to get someone different in here.
Yeah, I think that's it's hard to argue against it at this point.
And and I think D, your frustration is like very warranted. And they said, like, I'm not listening to this because there's no goalie that the Oilers can afford that they can get. And like, I know people saying, like, Ian, trade Kulak and picks for Kochetkov. Carolina's not trading Pyotr Kochetkov.
You don't need to do that.
But also, like, he's signed to a great contract. He's 26 and he's shown flashes of being a legit starter. Like, they're not trading Kochetkov. And someone, I just see BBJ, wait, no Saros? You can't afford UC Saros this year. Like, you need to, unfortunately, and people are going to hate me saying this, you need to Band-Aid it for this year. That's why, like, just get Bussy and see if he's good for a month, and then maybe Skinner finds his game. But, like, it's Band-Aid solution time for a month until you can go get Saros in the summer. And I'm fully convinced they're going to get Saros in the summer.
That's your one?
I am so locked in on that. I think they will get UC Saros in the summer. That's not me being like, I'm not an insider. I'm an outsider. But I just think, like, they'll do that. And some of the names people are throwing out here, like, go get Mrazek. $4.2 million. You cannot trade Stuart Skinner for Peter Mrazek at 50% retained. Like, I can't even begin to describe how terrible of an idea that is. Cam Talbot's the starter in Detroit because John Gibson isn't playing well.
Thank God.
So, like, you can't go get him. UPL is available. You can't afford him. How can you get to the $4.75 million of UPL? You have to trade multiple pieces off your roster, and the cap just doesn't work.
Someone put in the chat there, and they put a couple in comments there, so I'll address them this time. I think it was Ari. God damn it, there's so many people talking right now. Thank you for watching. They put in there basically, like, if you're not trading Stuart Skinner, then you're not getting a solution, essentially. Like, trading your backup goaltender is
Stuart Skinner's
delusional.
cheap.
He doesn't make any money, and also, too, he is giving you... If he had another goalie and you could kind of maybe relieve a little bit from him, it might help him out a little bit. Again, like, unless you're getting a clear upgrade on Skinner, then sure, like, I think I can be part of it. But, like, I want to see that guy. And it's, again, like, we went through it the other day of how many teams in the NHL need a goalie. Unfortunately, the Oilers are one of 3, which also means that many other teams probably don't want to move on from their goalies.
And as Mulick said, why not one of the guys we talked about for the season, Dawes, DiPietro? But so again, this is where I think people who are critical of the goaltending have to also put their hand and be like, I was wrong. Like, everyone wanted Ingram. They're clamoring, Ingram's the solution, Ingram's the solution. Ingram can't stop a puck in the American League. Mikey DiPietro could have been had on waivers, and he has a 929 in the American League this year.
Nice.
Last year in 40 games, he had a 927. Every year, he's had a good save percentage in the American League for the most part. Like,
It's interesting that he made it through. And
I can't believe he made it through.
there was another guy from Washington. What was his name?
Yeah, I forget his
I can't remember his name too, but he made it through.
And people were talking about him before. Clay Stevenson was his name.
Yes, that was the one. I don't know how he's doing, admittedly, but
I'll look it up.
the Oilers went out and they got Ingram, and that seemed to be their solution.
Clay Stevenson struggling in the American League.
Okay, thank goodness.
But, like, again, your chance to get... Boston ain't trading you DiPietro now because they have him safely stashed away in the American League where they want him. Your chance to get DiPietro was on waivers. So, I don't know. Someone said get Fleury out of retirement. Good Lord, we can't be doing that. They need a different look. I'm fully willing to recognize that. Skinner needs to stay, though. It has to be someone to play with Stu. And, like, people are saying, go get Elvis Merzlikins.
Does he?
Yeah, but, like, how are you... Even if Columbus, for whatever reason, goes, yeah, we'll keep 50% of Merzlikins and give you Skinner, and give us Skinner. I think, again, that's like a lateral move. Merzlikins is so inconsistent.
I think another side of like the Colorado thing too, how they were able to take advantage of Mackenzie Blackwood, is San Jose wanted to be terrible. Like those bad teams now, if I'm not mistaken, thinking off the top of my head a little bit, like don't really have a goalie that would be out there that you can just kind of like snag. And like the Oilers should have taken the opportunity, sure. But like St. Louis, would you even want Jordan Binnington? I don't know if
he's fallen off a cliff. And again, like so many of these, like people, if you want to talk Binnington, it's a non-starter. You can't afford Jordan Binnington. He is $6 million. St. Louis is not keeping money and trading. Like, what's the line our old friend would say? Like, when NHL GMs are drowning, no one throws them a life raft. You throw them an anvil. You sink them. Like, even Carolina trading you Brandon Bussey might not happen. There's a better chance some team tries to block him and claims him on waivers so you don't get him. You know what I mean? Like, no team's just going to sit there and be like, God, I feel bad for Stan.
How can I help Stan?
Oh, I don't like seeing the Oilers waste years of Connor McDavid. Like,
especially Doug Armstrong.
Well, yeah, no shit. It's bad right now. I fully recognize it's bad right now. And could Stu Skinner do what he usually does and rattle off 6 weeks of actual good hockey in the middle of this season and calm us down for a minute? Sure. You need a new backup. Like, God, I love you, Cal. You have two options, I think. You can put your hand up and say, my knee hurts.
My knee would hurt after that game.
Pickard can go, my knee hurts from that Parker Kelly breakaway.
That's why I looked so bad.
Yeah. Or you can go on waivers. In which case, I don't think he would even report to Bakersfield.
Andre. Dustin Wolf costs $850,000 this year. He's better than what we have. Yeah, he's also on an entry-level deal. Also, Askarov. Devin, enough. Askarov is never coming here.
What are you talking about, Askarov? Austin, 31 GMs know the Oilers need a crease upgrade, which makes the deal even harder. Stan is going to have to add a lot for a clear starter. Like, and I totally get where you're coming from, Austin. I'm not like discrediting. They're not getting a clear starter in season. They're not. Like, it's just not there. That guy's not there. Your option is to take shots on guys like Brandon Bussey and pray to God he's Andrew Hammond 2.0 and then just don't sign him next summer. But you know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's what we have. San Jose's goaltending is better than us. Yeah, because they gave up a first-round pick plus to get Yaroslav Askarov. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's better right now, sure. But like, I think this will all balance itself out eventually. I think the Oilers goalies as a duo are playing the worst we've seen them play.
Yeah.
We've seen Skinner play better. I feel like we all agree that Skinner has showed us better. I also think he's been relatively okay to start the season. And again, the team's playing badly. I think it'll come around. Skinner starts tonight, which is probably the only decision you could have made.
You couldn't go to Pickard tonight.
I'm very curious to see how many games Pickard gets on this road trip. I really am. We always have a 7-game road trip coming up, by the way, if you didn't know. Pretty easy one as well. Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Washington Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers, Columbus, Buffalo. Thank God.
I mean, shit. Seeing how they play down to their competition, nothing's a win.
No.
Like, nothing's a win. Like, tonight, home ice, just got your ass kicked. Columbus should be scared of you. They should be like, damn. But
they've lost 3 in a row.
yeah, they're
St.
real.
Louis lost 7.
But then that also, like, a struggling team's a hungry team, unless it's the Edmonton Oilers. Then they just kind of whimper and sit in the corner and go, oh, man.
The Oilers, this is the first time they've lost 3 games in a row this season.
Yep.
Don't make it 4.
God. I know like nothing is a guaranteed win in today's NHL, but Columbus, Philly, Columbus, fucking beat the shit out of these teams. And I know we're not in a position to do that because Colorado just beat the shit out of Edmonton on Saturday. But like tonight, if you do not have a good effort, we're asking hard questions tomorrow.
What kind of hard questions?
I don't even want to go there. Well, you can't fire the coach. You can't fire the coach.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
But we're asking questions.
I can't.
What kind of questions will I ask if they lose? Hopefully, you all never have to find out.
The coaching question's been up a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, and I'm not particularly close.
No, I'm not either. I mean,
like you
can't fire a coach who has only brought you to Stanley Cup Finals. Like I know people will nitpick, but like. And we had this debate when they were debating firing Woodcroft, and I said, like, at what point do you just have to look, and this is one of the questions I will ask, at what point do you just look at the core and go like, no. You don't get McClellan and Tippett and Woodcroft and Knoblauch. You don't get all those guys fired. Forgot Ken Hitchcock.
Yeah, Kenny, from the bench.
That one I don't blame the core for. Hitchcock was not a good coach. It was not a good coach here. But, like, you don't get all those coaches. You know what I mean? Like at some point you just sit there and go like, oh, you guys like aren't going to win. And I know they were within a game of winning, them within 2 games of winning, which is again why I'm not like freaking out about this whole thing.
Just one quick thing, because it keeps coming up in the chat. The continuous conversation about Paul Coffey. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he left the Oilers bench because he had like back problems.
No, he didn't. He just doesn't want to coach. He never did want to coach.
There was a whole thing of like, because remember, he almost didn't come back the year before last as well.
Because he didn't want to coach.
Because he didn't want to do it, but also too, like, I don't want to speak out of what I like speak for him, but I'm pretty sure I saw, and like maybe Bob said it or someone like that. It's like he had back problems and he just like couldn't stand on the bench every night. It was causing him a lot of problems. Like he's also a guy who's played over 1,000 games in the league. Like he probably just wants to be at home. You know what I mean? Like he retired a long time ago and was just not involved in coaching and was kind of.
He was like coaching his kids' team.
Yeah, like I just think this coaching staff, Knoblauch obviously experience. This is the first time I would say he's faced like crazy, like this is a crazy bad run. I know they had that run because people nations, but like that was different. Where like you have Mark Stuart now, and you have the other fellow, I forget his name. They need to figure this out amongst themselves and go for it. Mm-hmm. But just from reading and what Knoblauch's kind of looked like here in his press conferences and stuff he said, like, I think the room, check them out, sounds like they're not listening to them, but like, I think it's just the players. I do not put this on the coaching staff at all. There's no way the coaching staff is going out there and being like, don't battle for pucks tonight, boys. No need to block guys out and block some shots, push guys out of the way of the net. It's like, no, that's on you guys to actually go and play. And it'll be interesting tonight to see what happens. If something goes wrong, is someone getting benched? What kind of goes down here?
And again, big fan of her work for us. Caprice said this from her Scenes in Morning Skate article. The reality is brutal. Losing to Columbus tonight, a team desperate for their first road win of the trip, would be worse than any of the embarrassing defeats that came before it. But that's also why tonight matters. Redemption is about the statement against the contenders. It's about showing up against the Blue Jackets and playing the kind of disciplined, focused hockey that doesn't make highlights but salvages seasons. I think she's bang on, man. Like, we, to an extent, saw that loss on Saturday come in from a mile away, right?
Just didn't want to fully admit it.
Didn't want to fully admit it, but like that shit was coming. But now tonight, you need to show that like that doesn't happen twice in a row. That like you are now woken up. We need the Oilers to be woke.
Whoa. People will not like that.
No. They won't. But we need the Oilers to show that they're woke.
They're woke. Put that on a graphic board, Eli. Oilers woke? Question mark.
Yeah. People will. Well.
I can't believe it's 1.
I can't believe it's 1 o'clock. We're waiting for our pal Dave Pagnotta to swing
Can
by.
we do a quick lineup report? Because there is some news and notes from the lineup. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, do it.
Bring it up, Pat.
Can you put him on the ISO?
First line. Sorry, I thought it was going to come up.
There we go.
First line, Connor McDavid. There is not lines. Connor McDavid alongside, we'll see, because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is out of the lineup. Leon Draisaitl with Jack Roslovic and Vasily Podkolzin. Matthew Savoy up on the top line, with Connor McDavid, Andrew Mangiapane. This probably should have been how the top 6 looked on Saturday, obviously with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins instead of Savoy being there. Why they went away from that after both those lines scored 5-on-5 goals against the Dallas Stars and just put McDavid and Draisaitl together was just idiotic to me, to be honest. The third line there is Isaac Howard, Adam Henrique, and Trent Frederick. Big night you have to get from Trent Frederick tonight. He cannot be quiet. Give us a few hits, anything. The offense will, hopefully that's there, but the physicality has to be on the side of Trent Frederick. Ike Howard, we'll see what he's got. Adam Henrique, like I said, center in that line. 2 big changes on the fourth line. Matthias Janmark on the left wing making his season debut. I think the Oilers need him back tonight pretty desperately. Someone with a bit of passion would be nice. Curtis Lazar, you know what you're getting from Lazar. Nothing special, but he's going to give you something every single shift pretty much. And then Noah Philp at center. The defensive pairings, I would assume they're the same, but Tyler's screen is covering half of them.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I had the chat open.
Okay, I got this. No problem.
There you
Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, and Alec Regula paired with the third pairing, Brett Kulak, Jake Wallman. I have an idea, and I want to float this by you here. Should Brett Kulak be playing with Evan Bouchard? We saw it in the playoffs, and that duo was pretty good.
It was their top pairing.
It was good. And I wonder if that's, Kulak's been fine. It is what it is for the most part with him, right? He's doing nothing too special, but nothing too crazy. I would like to see Kulak play a bit more and bump down Ekholm. And, Regula's Regula, I guess. I'm not really that fond of him. I think he's fine. I wouldn't have kept Ty Emerson out of the lineup so much. But, again, he's on the penalty kill and somehow went 7 for 7 against the Colorado Avalanche.
There's your lineup.
What a disaster.
Who knows how they're actually going to line up tonight? The idea
It better be like that.
Well,
it has to be like that.
And I really, really hope that they give Savoy an opportunity here with Nuge. Losing Nuge sucks, but again, I've been a big Matt Savoy fan this season. His expected, he's doing a lot of things right. I really hope if it truly is a week of no Nuge, and who knows with the way this usually goes, we might not see Nuge till February.
It might be done. Might never see him again. Kris Knoblauch's a liar.
Yeah, tongue in cheek a little bit there, but I don't know, man. I hope this is actually a week of Matt Savoy getting some opportunity is all.
I completely agree. I don't know why they went away from that top 6 on Saturday. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that? I cannot believe they went back to McDavid and Draisaitl.
It made no sense.
It makes no sense.
0 sense.
That you've actually built a bit of a lineup here and you just took it away.
Yep. I'm with you, man. All right. While we wait for our pal Dave, should we do our mystery player? It's been a while since we've done one of these bad boys.
You'll never guess who's
We got $25 to the sports closet to give away. And I have 3 hints for the people watching at home.
Oh, so Pat, you got to pull up the wheel.
Oh, Pat, yeah. Do you know how to pull up? Just search prize wheel on Google and then go to the prize wheel website, and then we'll tell you whose names to put in there. If you're watching along, this is how the mystery player game works. It is a player who played for both Edmonton and Columbus. Okay. I have 3 hints to give you. And you got to comment it in the YouTube chat. And the first 3 people to comment the correct name in the YouTube chat get themselves into a draw. So here's your first clue. This player started their career with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Whoa.
Okay, hint number 1. Hint number 2, this player was a first-round pick, top 10 overall. Whoa. Keep in mind, they were a Blue Jacket and an Oiler. They started their career with the Blue Jackets. They were a top 10 pick. and they played in the playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, well, there goes Gilbert Brule.
Yeah, no, so it's not Gilbert Brule. Oh, we got one of them. Patrick. Oh, shouldn't have said it. Damn it. Now it's just a matter
Patrick
of
Puff.
We got one correct. Again, first round pick, top 10. Played a playoff game with the Oilers. There's another little clue. And they started their career with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Can I give a fourth clue?
Sure.
Great penalty killer.
If you don't get it off of that, so our producer, Pat, put Tyler Mulick in there. He hasn't won yet. And there you go.
Rat Craig.
Rat Craig, Tyler Mulick, and Patrick are in the draw. Congrats, boys. You got it. It was Derek Brassard. It was Derek Brassard. All right, Pat, it's time. Spin that wheel.
Oh, Rat Craig. Well done.
Congrats, Rat Craig. I've never really seen him in the chat.
No.
That's a big one for you, Rat Craig.
Rat.
Email me, Tyler@Oilersnation.com. Say I'm Rat Craig, and I will get you set up with our friends over at the Sports Closet, and you won yourself $25. Isaac Chow, who I'm not sure, obviously Isaac Howard likes to go by Ike Howard. Does Isaac Chow want us to call him Ike Chow? You were the fourth one. So you were the fourth one. So congrats, Rat.
Sorry,
you
Ike.
win. Derek Brassard.
Also, you can email us for life advice.
Yep.
I feel like we've gone through a lot of life advice today. Here's what I'll tell you all. Here's some life advice. Unwarranted. Is that what you call it? Unwarranted life advice? You can love the Edmonton Oilers, but you don't need to make them your personality.
No.
The Oilers lost on Saturday. It was brutal.
Terrible.
Come and hang out with us. We can all chat about it together.
Yep.
But get a hobby. Life advice.
That's really well said, Liam. Again, I do think there are some people who get, and you're emotionally.
He's passionate, and I love it.
And the passion's why we can do this, and why the show's successful, and why a company like Oilers Nation can employ 30 people, because there are a lot of passionate Oilers fans out there, and I will never mock anyone for showing passion, but at the same time, I just don't think it's good for your heart, and I mean physically for your heart, if some of you keep getting as mad as you do about a game in November.
Yeah.
If they lose in the playoffs this year, I will be heartbroken. I'll be upset, depending on how it goes. If it's like last year,
I probably won't be that upset.
yeah.
Might have seen it coming.
But again, I'll be mad at all that. I will feel ways. And if, you know what? If they're 10 points out of a playoff spot, I'll be mad at some point. Me too. But right now, again, it's an ugly start to the year. If they win tonight and get 2 points, they move into a tie for a playoff spot. They move into a tie for second in the division. I know games in hand crowd that a little bit, but you move into a tie for second in the division.
The sky is not falling.
The sky is not falling.
I mean, it's dropped. Well, luckily, you're keeping it up with gravity.
Yeah.
Are we still waiting?
Congrats. Oh, no. We're ready to go.
Okay,
so
nice.
Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find them online at starmechanical.ca. They are one of Edmonton's largest locally owned and operated companies, and whether it's residential, commercial, or 24/7 emergency service, they do it all, and they do it well at Star Mechanical. As we bring in our pal Dave Pagnotta from the fourth period, our insider. How's it going, Dave?
Well, I can't run a clock, but other than that, pretty good.
It's
Sorry
all right.
about the tardiness here, boys.
No.
You need a cuckoo clock.
I have a cuckoo clock in my house, and you always know when the top of the hour comes, Dave.
Right. Yes. Yep. No, my bad. You know what? I may have to take you up on that, or at least get my own. What Antiques Roadshow did you get it from?
That's fair. That's a fair one. I'll take that one. Okay. Anyways, we've spent 20 minutes today talking about if Brandon Bussey can be a solution. So that's how things are going in Edmonton.
Yeah. 9-1 loss. Everyone's yelling at each other on the ice in practice. It's a good time. It's Nuge is out for a week at least. Things aren't really going too well right now, obviously, for the Oilers, but this is better to happen now than in game 75. Wouldn't you think?
I agree with you on that, but I do also think that, the goaltending conversation's been going on here for a really long time. So on a night where they lose 9-1, and now you look at the stat sheet and you see that Calvin Pickard's save percentage is in the 830s, and it's again, the goaltending conversation is not going away, and it will not go away until they do something. But I think part of the problem here is like, you know, our chat gets littered with the Saros, Merzlikins, UPL, all these names. And like, the bottom line is Edmonton can't afford, they don't have money this season. They have money in the off season, but not now. So like the fans who are expecting a move at some point, what would you tell them?
Temper those expectations, because the guy you're facing tonight's making $5.4 million. So how you fit in that? Even if you move out Skinner, who's at 2.6, how you gaining the additional cap space? You know, Saros, sure, it'd be great. He's 7.4, whatever he is, 7.5, it's 7.7 something. You got to figure that out. Like any impact type of addition that happens this season is going to have to result in somebody pretty substantial leaving, unless or somebody's waiving a no movement clause or a no trade clause. Like there aren't that many. Well, first of all, there aren't any quick fixes, and if you want to get creative, this is not just a one-off type of scenario. You're likely to have to create multiple different moves in order to facilitate this strictly for financial purposes. So, yeah, obviously not an ideal situation, and you know, not having now you start to get more injuries piling up, and not having Nuge is certainly going to factor in. You're going to have to juggle some lines here. You know, the biggest issue with this club, for the most part, from what I've noticed, and the numbers show it, is the depth. You know, obviously, yes, goaltending is one thing, but the depth just hasn't really been contributing. You gave Trent Frederick an 8-year contract. He's got 1 goal. You know, you either, and as you see the line, like either you have to mix things. And Savoy's on the first; he's got 2 points. So you got to have to either move things up and jumble things in hopes of getting a guy like Frederick going and get a little confidence in there, so that, you know, maybe you're not always chasing a lead. Maybe you're creating one yourself, and then letting the game kind of shift back into your direction. Otherwise, you're going to keep going through the same thing, and you're going to have to look for alternative options, and that's going to result in multiple guys leaving simply for the finances of it. Or you bank on 97 and 29 trying to bail you out again, and you wait till July to fix it.
Of the 14 Oilers skaters who make more than $1.4 million, 12 of them have some form of trade protection. The only ones who do not have any trade protection are Evan Bouchard and Brett Kulak, and you're not trading Evan Bouchard or Brett Kulak. So, like, again, to your point, someone said Saros is worth moving a big name for. Okay, I don't know who that is. Yeah. Like, you're not trading... Right. And, like, why would Adam Henrique at this stage in his career put up his hand and go, yeah, I'll waive. I'll play out this contract season, one of my last years in the NHL. I'll play it out in Buffalo just to do you guys a solid. Like, that's not how this shit works.
No, exactly. And do you want to trade Ryan Nugent-Hopkins?
No.
Probably not. So
yeah.
I don't know what other alternatives you have. You know, you're not going to move Bouchard right now. Or anytime soon, probably. You know, the options are kind of limited. So again, like, you've got to be very creative in trying to piece these types of scenarios together in order to help push you forward. If you're not digging internally to try to fix this, I mean, that's almost all you can do, unless you're looking at some of the guys and you're going, all right, well, let's have some hard truth conversations here about what direction this is all going in. But again, even if you try to move, like, to your point, Adam Henrique, no, he won't go to Buffalo. No, he won't go to Nashville, for example. But he'll go here, and here. Well, here, and here are probably other contenders, and those teams aren't typically trading with one another. So at least in season. So it's a tough scenario. It is. It's a deep sigh, like I just gave out. This is not. There are no quick fixes in any of this. And again, even if you count on, and let's say they get through tonight, they beat Columbus, who's 7-7. You're 6-4, or whatever you're at. Like, this is it. First of all, I want to see the response tonight after getting shit kicked on Saturday. But let's see the response, and then go from there. You can't, especially now, like, knee-jerk reactions in this league never help, never work out. So you've got to kind of just bite down and just hope that this team can pull it off. But again, you need more than 97 and 29 doing all the heavy lifting all the time.
I'm not sure quite how to word this one, so bear with me and just walk with me a second.
I can work as a Liam translator if we need it as well.
So they obviously got smoked 9-1. But before that, like, we were all very aware that there was cracks in this team. They were just all ultimately revealed on Saturday night. What was the vibe what is the vibe now around this team? Like, are they all, do you know what I mean? Like
we sit here and we ride the roller coaster game in, game out. You are able to, I think, obviously remove emotion because you're not an Oilers guy, but you can take a more 30,000 view of this team. Like, is it really just like, haha, same old Oilers, watch for them to win 10 in a row in January? Or do you actually look at this team and be like, not a Stanley Cup contender?
I thought this team was going to be a wild card team at the start of the season.
Okay.
Maybe pushing for third and then probably playing LA. And one way or another, they'll probably play LA. But that's kind of where I had things at. Now, I think there's an incline. Like, I'm anticipating, I know we've talked about this before in previous weeks. I'm anticipating this team having a very active summer because of all the cap flexibility that they're going to have. But that doesn't help 7 months from now or 8 months from now. It doesn't help the now when you're thinking and looking forward to 7-8 months from now. So looking at this team healthy, because I mean, Hyman's such a big part of this. His impact has been pretty evident, and we'll see. And it's going to take him a few games once he does get back to get his legs under him. So bear with him. But this is a team that, I mean, look, first of all, I expected a little bit more to Frederick. I expected more to Savoy. I thought Howard was going to give a little bit extra to this point. So even with all of that coming into play, I figured they'd be a 3 or a wild card type team for this particular season. And then let's see what happens next year and on, and then kind of go from there. But this team with what they I didn't expect goaltending to be this rough. I didn't expect them to be, extraordinary, but everything that's kind of going wrong with this club right now, or that could go wrong with this club, is going wrong. So typically that ends and things start to smooth out, and then you start to see a bit of an incline. I'm not anticipating a 10-game heater here at any point in the season with this group, but I think we just need to be a little bit realistic with some of the moves that were made. And again, with the expectation that this team is going to be aggressive in the summer. And I mean, even before the Connor extension kicked in and everything that means. But, you look at this club, you look at the competition in the West, you look at teams like Anaheim that are on an incline and so on, and Utah, even though they're in the other division, and Chicago, et cetera. Like, these teams starting to go on a bit of an incline, there's going to be a little bit of regression in some fashion. I didn't expect at this point. And they're 500. They're right in the thick of things still. It's not like they're 10 points back of a playoff spot. So I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but that's just the reality of the situation. Let's see what happens when Hyman gets back. But first and foremost, let's see a reaction after what the hell happened Saturday and the emotions flying at practice yesterday. Let's see this team get going, and let's see some of the depth guys contributing and finding some type of spark to kind of get them, going as well. But I think realistically across the board, looking at this team and looking at the depth of the roster, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised that a lot of people out there had them pegged for another cup run this particular season.
So, two-part question. First part I think is really easy. They're obviously not looking for a new head coach anytime soon, like people are screaming for, but I just need confirmation. The second one.
No.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We're good. I just want people to hear that. And Paul Coffey also is not coming back, correct?
Behind the bench?
Yeah. Anywhere.
Yeah. No. He's still hovering. He's still hovering somewhere in the back, in the shadows, but no.
Okay. So my third part question, I guess now. Brian puts in our chat, just poor management. And obviously that's towards Stan Bowman. But when you say they're not when they're a wild card team, it's obviously a playoff team, you still think they're a good team, of course.
Yes.
I wouldn't say this is poor management. Do you think it's more of like circumstance of just like where the team is at with like where the cap got to? They couldn't have guys like Perry and Brown anymore. They had to bring in not experiments, but like you had to give Howard and Savoy a chance. So do you think this is based off circumstance or like poor management decisions?
No, I thought this was all circumstantial. And again, I anticipated this at the start of the season, not to this extent, but I thought there was going to be regression. I anticipated regression this season. I anticipate, as I said, a lot of activity in the summer, and then I'm going to put them back, assuming they do some of the things that I expect them to do, or address some of the needs, I should say, that I expect them to do in the summer. I would put them back into top-tier contender status for 27. But I expected a setback in 26, primarily because of the financial aspect of the sport, the cap. They didn't have, like you said, they didn't have the ability to bring certain guys back or replace those particular pieces the way that they would really want to. That's certainly a factor. Again, I expected more out of some guys on this team, like Savoy and Frederick and so on, especially Trent Frederick. But I just, this is not a scenario where Stan Bowman's just sitting back with Jeff Jackson and they're smoking cigars and laughing up at the sky because, hey, we made 2 cup runs and this is awesome. Pour me some more cognac or something like that. Like that's not the case. I assume that's what
I would assume
rich
too.
People do with
Yeah,
their big
rich
cigars.
people,
Makes sense.
Yeah. But that's not what they're doing. They're looking for ways and trying to figure this out. But because of where they're at, and because they've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, nobody's throwing them any lifelines for any reason. Everybody wants to be where they're at. Everybody wants to be in that position. To go back-to-back in a Stanley Cup Final means a lot. There are a lot of teams that would love to be able to do that, and then continue to ride this as much as they can. This is a setback for the Oilers. This doesn't mean the run's over. This doesn't mean they're not going to improve for next season. And I don't want to forecast for next season already because we're only in frickin' November. But let's pump the brakes a tiny bit and just understand that this team, with the way that the league is going and with other teams that are having them in their crosshairs, like they were going to be a target, and they are a target. And you can't tell me that Colorado's game or performance on Saturday wasn't quasi message sending. They want to be back at the cream of the crop of the Western Conference. They want to push the Oilers aside. So with all of that in mind, with the ability or the inability to make, quick type of decisions here, you kind of got to sit back and kind of watch this play out a little bit longer than you perhaps would like.
Well, let's hope they beat Columbus tonight, because apparently Columbus has a flu bug and don't even know if they have players for the game.
Really?
So, if they lose tonight, Jesus Christ. Dave,
yeah, that's starting to go around the league, by the way. The flu bug's starting to make some appearances through. I think Buffalo's hit with a bunch of it too.
Hopefully it's not the mumps like it was that one time.
Wow, don't need Sidney Crosby getting the mumps again.
That was awesome. Remember that? He had this big thing right here, and he's like, I feel great.
I bring that up once a month. Like the fact that, one, there was a mumps outbreak. Second off, they had to do mass vaccinations around the NHL. Could you imagine if they tried to do that in 2025? Oh boy. And also they just let Sidney Crosby do that media scrum. They were like, get out. Yeah, mumps outbreak. Nah. Come on. You need to go talk with
out to here.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Meanwhile, Rope Hintz can't play in a playoff game.
Because his foot
hurts.
Now we're in a whole different thing. Anyways, Dave, we'll let you go. Thanks for popping on. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Peace, boys.
There you go. David Pagnotta. You can read his work at the Fourth Period. He also does a lot of appearances across the Nation Network. Friend of the program, as they say.
Someone made a comment in there. Sorry, your comment scrolled by. I feel like we're going to go a little bit longer today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Baldwin Barber. Great name. They did have the cap space, though. They signed Frederick and Mangiapane, for example, rather than Perry and Brown. The management has lost the bets they have made so far. The Mangiapane one is very interesting because I feel like he's just been inconsistent, but also being asked to play as a top-line player when really he's probably a third-line guy. I don't think your comment's wrong by any means. I just think they maybe wanted to get slightly younger as well and felt like if they put their money on Mangiapane and Frederick, it would be more beneficial than signing a 31-year-old Connor Brown to a 4-year deal and then signing Corey Perry, who, again, I'm amazed at the impact that he brought to the Oilers, but now it's just all gone by his presence not being here. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're expecting a 41-year-old Corey Perry to go back and do what he did again. I don't think that's a bad bet to miss on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that one's fine. And again, Buster T, Perry has 7 goals. It's amazing what he's able to do.
Yep.
Corey Perry, like, full credit to him. I'm surprised he is what he's doing these past few years, and credit to him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not willing to give up on those two guys yet, especially Frederick, because I just think he's playing the lowest he could go, like many other guys on his team. And what's Mangiapane have? I think he has 4 goals.
Yeah, Mangiapane's been.
I think he's been fine.
Again,
I don't know.
My criticism of Mangiapane is just like it falls into the same area of like the Connors and the Leons and the Nuges, where it's like, show some fight. Like, you're having a fine year. Show some goddamn fight.
Yeah, I agree. And I wrote about this as I continue to promote my own work.
Mm-hmm.
When Knoblauch came in, he allowed guys like Vinny, Derek Ryan, Matthias Janmark to establish themselves as penalty killers, give themselves a role. And Connor Brown was another guy who became a big part of that as well. Obviously, he didn't score for so long when he played for the Oilers.
Yeah.
And then he had a good season last season, was really great in the playoffs too, until he got hurt again. I want to see that side of Knoblauch back. Like, McDavid and Draisaitl, don't completely take them off the penalty kill. I think there's spots for them to play in. Absolutely.
Take the minutes way down, though.
But we need to see...
Guys need to have an identity and a purpose.
Like, we need Mangiapane on there. We need Frederick. And again, like, I don't know what that penalty kill history is. It's just examples of, like, your bottom 6 plays. Like, give them something to do. Allow them to establish themselves as someone reliable on this team. And that's what frustrates me a little bit about Knoblauch specifically right now is like, and it seems the same with everyone else. It's like, give guys the opportunity to establish themselves with roles. I am curious to see if that changes over this next little bit here. They've had a bit of practice time. I don't know if anyone saw any reports on that. I didn't, but like, we'll see what happens.
One more thing. I know people are very anti-Blender, and I'm anti-Blender. Like, I do agree. Like, give the lines some time. They lost to St. Louis. He kept the top 6 the same.
Yep.
Then he kept it the same, and they lost again to Dallas. I don't know, man. At some point, he can't sit there and not do anything when they're losing games and blowing leads, right? Like, at some point, you need to switch it up. Like, he gave that top 6 back-to-back games on the road.
I think
they lost both
game
games
before that, too.
Yeah, like, he gave them
what
3
I'll
games.
say is, though, the top 6 scored in those games.
Yeah.
I don't think the top 6 was the problem of why they lost. No. I mean, they didn't help. We talked about some of the defensive error. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But Brian Burke was talking the other day, too. He's like, I don't like it. He's like, when I would talk to my coaches, duos was kind of the thing they would do. Is like, you keep 2 guys together.
Yeah.
You can't just change everyone, which I think is the right thing to do.
Yeah. Maynard says the hasn't been kind. Oh, good Lord. We're not giving them breaks because the schedule. Like,
well, it is not.
I know, but like it's a compressed schedule for everybody. I get they've been on the road a lot, but like
that would be my
But you're a cup contender. Win road games.
Totally,
it's also the start of the year. You should have energy. Like you shouldn't. If you had a tough road trip in January, I'd be like, you know what, dog days of the season. Sometimes you don't have it. Beginning of the year, like just play better.
I still think it's been more difficult than others, just based specifically of like they've played like 6 home games. They're 16 games into the season.
Sure, I mean the Ducks have had basically the same. The Ducks have played fewer home games than the Oilers.
But where have their road games been? I think that's another part of it too. I don't have to dig into it. I just think it's been difficult for them. And they need to prove themselves a little bit too, obviously. But 7-game road trip, I don't care who you're playing, is tough.
I mean, they did their Eastern swing.
Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
They did Boston, Tampa, Florida, and got points in 2 of those 3 games.
I don't think it's the reason they're losing games. It's not an excuse, but it's just a reality. They've had a difficult road start to the season.
All right, a couple numbers I want to throw your way. Pagnotta talked about Zach Hyman. On this at 5-on-5. 5-on-5 on ice goals for percentage, or goals for per 60. Just as a team, not individual, but when Zach Hyman's on the ice, amongst all forwards on the Oilers that have played a game since the beginning of last season, he has the best on ice goals for per 60. Having that guy back will help your 5-on-5 offense. Here's another number. Individual expected goals per 60 at 5-on-5. Zach Hyman has the best number since the start of last season. Second on that list is Jeff Skinner. Third on that list is Matt Savoy. Play Matt Savoy. Give Matt Savoy a shitload of minutes with Connor McDavid. Goals will go in. You will have a player.
I completely agree. Like Dave mentions there, he's like he only has 2 points.
Yeah.
He does. But we all know the work ethic he has, and I just think you need to give him that chance. The opportunity's there now. I said the other day, I was like, I don't know, you're moving down to get him up. Now you've got your spot. Go get it.
Should we do our betting preview for our friends at Bet365? Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 365. We did not obviously have any bets in for the game on Saturday because we did not do a show on Saturday. I do also want to say Jay got in his bet.
What time?
He's taking a Roslovic power play point.
What time did he get his bet in? Tell me the time. I'll tell you if it's allowed.
I don't want to.
Because it was afternoon.
I know.
We'll make a poll.
We're giving it to him.
You're too lenient.
I know. He was busy. He's in meetings. He's on Eastern time. He's taking Roslovic power play point, which if you head over to Bet365, plus 280. Plus 280 for Jack Roslovic to get a power play point today. So
I did make David power play point, plus 120. Oh, 105. I don't know what it was. Something around that. Plus something really little.
McDavid to get a power play point is plus 120. There you go.
Thanks, Pat.
I did a same gamer. I think this is a bounce back night. I hope it is. McDavid 3 shots. McDavid 1 assist. Both look good to me. Stuart Skinner over 23.5 saves. That's what juices this one up. It's plus 290. Columbus should be shooting the puck a decent amount. I think they usually do. So yeah, I'm gonna bank on Stuart Skinner having a bounce back game and Connor McDavid being so pissed off he shoots a lot of pucks, and of course he'll get an assist because he always gets assists.
Nice to see him have a couple of goals back-to-back games.
Yeah, he's shooting the puck more now.
Does he have 3 in a row or just back-to-backs? He didn't score against St. Louis. No, Roslovic and Japan. Oh no, just back-to-back games. That's good though. Either way, for people who want to know, keep them drag at home. I currently lead the Bet365 challenge. You're second, Jay's third.
Yep. Columbus, just to wrap up my bet, Columbus 32.7 shots per game, third best in the NHL.
Nice.
They also allow 32.7 shots per game, most shots against in the NHL. So I think there's probably some plays betting on shot props either way here in this hockey game.
Cool. Jack Greaves gets the start tonight for the Blue Jackets.
And he is really good. In my conversation with Kevin Woodley today, he said one name that is not getting enough attention for that Hockey Canada spot is Jet Greaves. 24 years old. He's off to a great start this season. Last year in 11 games with Columbus, he's a .938. Basically, with the analytics, Woodley basically said every level he goes to, he performs. So why not take him?
How old is he?
24.
Interesting.
Last thing I wanted to say from a betting perspective, I played McDavid and Barbashev shot props today, 3+. Barbashev to get 3 shots is plus 300.
Oh, he plays on Vegas.
He's plus 300 to get 3 shots. He's done it 3 straight games.
Damn.
Plus 300, I'll take it. I know maybe it's an unsustainable run, but eventually he'll get one.
I just hope it continues tonight for you. Do you want to do what's trending quickly, or you just want me to make my point?
Sure, just make your point.
Pierre LeBrun and Chris Johnson had an article today out on The Athletic outlining kind of what the Team Canada roster could look like. And Evan Bouchard and Stuart Skinner are supposedly well in the mix to make the Team Canada roster.
Can you imagine the outcry from but from other fan bases if they take Stuart Skinner?
I think things would have to drastically change for him to be on the roster. They mentioned he was one of 5 goalies, I think it was.
The line was the goalies who could play their way on are Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper, Stuart Skinner, and Mackenzie Blackwood.
Yeah. Evan Bouchard was obviously on the list for the defenseman. I think it had Ekblad, Noah Dobson, who's one of them.
Montour, Morgan Riley, Mackenzie Weegar, and Matthew Schaefer are the, quote, outside candidates.
I don't think Matthew Schaefer will go because I think Celebrini makes the team.
I don't think they would take
too many young guys.
I think they'll take Celebrini and that's it. They won't take Bedard.
Because, at the end of the day, they can just go to the World Championships. So it's Schaefer. You know what I mean?
He'll get experience. But,
we'll see what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
People saying Skinner has no chance. He clearly has a slight chance.
He has an outside chance.
Yes. Things have to change.
Yep. Okay. I think that's our NFL parlay lost big time.
Well, mine's not dead yet.
I know, but the best we can do now is 1 for 3.
Did you like this JJ McCarthy thing is super weird.
What's your beef with JJ McCarthy?
He literally said, I have an alter ego I use when I go on the field called 9.
And then I saw him during the game.
Oh.
He was laughing with the other team at one point after they hit him. And I'm like, I thought you had an alter ego. Weird. Is the alter ego just that you're weird?
Weird fuck.
He's a weird dude.
He's also not that good. I'm so pissed the Lions lost to him last week. That is devastating for me.
So Dom Lucian does this just popped up on my Twitter feed. He does his market value for players based on his analytics. They're playing.
Oh, yes. I've seen that.
Matthew Schaefer, through his first 16 games of his career, is playing at a value of a $17.2 million player. That's crazy.
Cale McCall money.
Yeah, he's so good.
He is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
God, the Islanders got so fortunate. Like they were just living in the battle of mid.
Yeah.
And then they got maybe what could be a Hall of Fame defenseman. Honestly, to get ahead of things. Because I think he's that good.
It's crazy.
He's so good. Clip that for when it comes around.
All right. Well, that's a wrap tonight.
Yeah, I'll do. I've got pre and post game. Me and Zach Lang down at Dog Patch.
Dog Patch. Come to Dog Patch with Liam. Watch the game.
Yeah, can watch the game. It's a prime game tonight, so that is not going to work out well for the Oilers.
That's also not. We'll talk about it after, but yeah, they usually get smoked on Prime. They didn't score a goal last year on Prime, I think.
For the first 2 or 3 games,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
They're due for a win tonight.
Just give me some effort. Like, if we come in here tomorrow and they lose, but they showed some fight, where would your level be at? Like, if they, like, it was a good game, they battled, they just got a bit unlucky at the end, but it was like...
No, I want to see him win.
Yeah,
I need a win to be happy.
Win too.
I need to see a win.
But I just need effort. Like, I want you to show me that you give a shit.
Yeah.
Because all I'm asking for is it's a pretty low bar. You play in the NHL, try. You know, I feel like we can get there.
Yep.
Aaron's back tomorrow.
Liam's got pre and post game tonight. That's a wrap on today's edition of the show. Honestly, went kind of how I expected.
I thought it went better than I expected.
Yeah.
I feel like the chat, thank you. You were very level-headed today. I thought we actually had some good conversation. And the camera might have just froze, but that's fine.
Oh, whatever. That's a wrap on
wrap it up.
today's edition of the show. Thanks to Pat for covering behind the scenes today. He did a bang-up job. Thanks to Dave Pagnotta. Watch pre-gaming tonight. Oil up.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.